everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Praying Nurse. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and the notification down below so you get notified every time a new video comes up. Hi everyone, beautiful people. It's been a while since I posted and made a new video. I'm sorry about that. It was just like a very busy times for me, getting a lot of making a lot of decisions and changes, a lot of changes that's happening and going on. But I'll update you guys next time. Um, in this video, I wanted to talk about the recent Philippine election. Now, I know most of my subscribers are Filipinos, and all of us know that the Philippines have already voted last May 9th, and I think they're still on the partial counting and an official proclamation of the new president and vice presidents and senators and other candidates um, hasn't been finalized yet. Well, anyways, so I just wanted to say my opinion. I don't have any candidates that I'm rooting for. As everyone knows, I just got my citizenship last March, so that means I am not eligible to vote in any Philippine elections. So I am not rooting for any candidates. I am not of any colors or whatever you call that, but I was able to educate myself, read about each candidates, especially the presidential candidates. I tried my best to watch the debates and the interviews of the candidates. So um, it is just disheartening and sad that there's a lot of rallies and bickering and backlashing and a lot of not so good words and comments being thrown out there in social media about the candidates. Um, I know for a fact that even during the campaign period, you know, certain candidates um, gave negative comments about another candidates. Now, how I wish that it's not gonna be like that. How I wish that they will just state their platforms, their plans for the Philippines, and not um, belittling other candidates. I wish it's like that, but I guess um, politics is not that kind of a game. Anyways, so um, as for what I know right now, who's leading is Bongbong Marcos, and we all know what is attached or what is the um, connotation about having a Marcos last name. Anyways, I grew up during the Marcos era. I think I was in elementary at that time, and in high school when the People Power Revolution happened. I was a martial law baby. I was born in 1973. I hear stories from my parents how they snuck out of the house to bring my mom to the hospital because it was late at night. A good thing that we just live like behind the hospital, so it was really not a problem. But I only learned about the Marcos dictatorship and Imelda Marcos's thousands or millions shoes. I only learned about this when I was in high school during when the People Power Revolution happened. And I grew up in during the Marcos era. My parents were the first beneficiary of the housing project of Imelda Marcos, what he called Bliss. Um, we used to live in one of the apartments in Manila, and it came to a point that our landlord was already harassing my parents to go find another place to stay. I don't know what they're gonna do with the apartment, but I know that my parents were stressed because every day my mom would come home from church, or all of us will come home from church, and our masungit landlord will always be there in front of her house and asking my parents like, when are you gonna leave, when are you gonna leave, I need the place vacated, blah 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 blah. So we are just a middle class family. My dad works, it was just a regular employer. My mom is a housewife. They have three of us, three kids. My brother, I think he was in college, our eldest. The second one, and me was like in elementary. And then our grandma lives with us, and our uncle lives with us. So it is not it's not easy for my parents to just, pack our things and look for another place to stay or to live. And so my dad heard about the housing project of Imelda Marcos, and he applied. And ever since he applied, um, on his way to work, he will always stop by the place or the site where they're building the houses, and he will always stop at the same spot in front, and always telling himself that this is going to be the place where my family will live. But anyway, so I think um, how they do things back then was that they raffle the units, because it's like a tenement. So they raffled the units, and luckily, my dad's name was drawn, and the unit that was assigned to him was the same unit where he always stopped by going to work and always parked his car in front. So he got what he wished for. Anyways, to cut the story short, my parents didn't wait the until the house is completely done. We moved in right away. There's no electricity, no water. The house is just like a square lot. It's not done yet. There's no divisions, like the rooms doesn't have divisions. So it's totally just a vacant square piece of land. We don't have electricity. I remember we have to we have to light a candle at night. We use the pamaypay because it's hot. We just rolled the mats on the floor to sleep, and then we have towels and bed sheets to cover the windows. So we were the very first family that moved into that first Bliss housing project of Imelda Marcos. So with that, I know my parents also paid for that housing unit. The title is already ours, but still, I am grateful that the Marcos government has that project for those people that cannot afford to buy or rent a house quickly. Um, and also, I remember during calamities when we were still at our old apartment in Manila, where it always floods. The water will go inside the house, and so we will always stay in the second floor. And sometimes my dad and my brother will always go to the roof of the house because it's all flooded, and then you can hear the helicopter, the government's helicopter, and they will just be waving and asking for help or for food. And so the helicopter will gonna fly low enough so that they can throw um, throw us a bag of goodies with has rice, noodles, biscuits, sardines. Every time there is a calamity, there's flooding, and people cannot go out of their house to buy groceries or whatsoever, the government will always is always there to give us relief goods, is what you call it. And then I also remember being schooled in a public school. Our canteens or our cafeterias will always have nutri buns. Those are like big buns of bread, and it's very filling. One nutri bun only costs about a cent or something like that. It's not expensive, and it can be your lunch and your merienda or your snack. And also, when we were living in Bliss, um, we always get a box of goodies to be distributed to all the tenants. I think it's always in December, like right before Christmas. And each family, each unit will going to receive several kilos of rice, sugar, coffee, chocolate powder or milk powder, um, noodles, wafer cookies. What else? Yeah, wafer cookies, and we will distribute it to all the units and all the families at Christmas time. So that's what I remember during the Marcos administration. Is like a lot of infrastructures, a lot of projects, especially the with the cultures and arts, because I know my brother is a recipient of Imelda Marcos uh, arts and culture project that sent them to a voice lesson. So those are the projects that I remember during the Marcos um, during the Marcos era. And then when the EDSA revolution came, and so all the bad things, all the secrets just came out. The corruption, the $1 billion, the shoes, and everything. That's why um, the Marcoses got that bad reputation. Anyways, but they will always say that the sin of the father is not always the sin of the son or the children, which is true, which is I believe, because if, let's say, for example, my parents are a convicted murderer, so that means I will not be given the chance or the opportunity to um, have a decent job. Or if I apply for a job and they know that my father or my mother is convicted of something like a theft or a murderer, and that will going to hinder me for a good education, for a good job. It is not my fault. It is not my fault. It just so happened that I was born in that family. So I shouldn't be treated that way. I should be treated fairly. So when you say that, oh, Bongbong Marcos is winning, he's going to be the next president, and people were like, oh no, we're not going to recognize him. He's the son of a dictator. He came from a corrupt family, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it's true. Maybe it's true. Yes, it's true. Or maybe it's true. But did he also have the same mindset as his father. And they always say, oh, he grew up in a corrupt environment, so he's going to be corrupt as well. But what if he is not? What if he has all the ideas? What if he has all these grand projects for the Philippines, for the Filipino people? And we robbed him that opportunity to lead the country. And we robbed him that opportunity to serve um, and to fulfill his projects or his platforms that could lift the Philippines. And then we're gonna regret it. So life is always taking chances. Life is always taking that risk. If we are going to live every day with the what ifs, we are not gonna be moving forward. We are not going to be successful. We don't know what's on the other side of the fence if we don't dare to go and jump over on that fence and see for ourselves. One good thing that I noticed during the campaign period is that Marcos never did said anything negative to any of the other candidates. I remember I was watching the Boy Abunda interview of the presidential candidates, and I remember, if I remember it right, correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember it right, Boy Abunda's last question is that who among the candidates are the worst candidate? And I remember Bongbong said that, are you really gonna ask me that question? And then Boy Abunda says yes. And Bongbong Marcos is like, I don't like to answer the question, because he doesn't want to say anything bad about another person. And that's where I saw his difference from his father. And then I've seen, the videos where he's shaking hands of the people, and then all of a sudden his arm get twisted, and you can see on his face that he was really, really hurt. But he never said anything bad. He never asked his bodyguards or whoever it is to hey, talk to the person whoever twisted my arm, that person who hurt me. No. They said, oh, he doesn't want to go to the debates. He doesn't want to participate in debates. Maybe he has his reason. I like Leni Robredo, the vice president, because I think she's not corrupt. But when the campaign period rolled out and I've been hearing her on stage bickering and mocking words about other candidates, my respect to her went 1 or 2 points below. Calling names like magnanakaw, dictador. If you really have a pure heart to serve, you don't need to malign, you don't need to call names, and you don't have to blow others' candle just to make yours shine bright. That is my opinion. And with all this people saying that, oh, they were cheated on, the numbers are not right, yes, they will say it because their candidate is falling short. But what if they're the one leading? And then they will say, no, we didn't cheat. We didn't cheat at all. Sometimes as people, we don't want to hear the truth. We always point fingers to something else, to someone else, aside from us. If something goes wrong, if something goes not our way, we always blame it to something. We always blame it to someone. And sometimes we even blame God. Which is a no-no. So what if my candidate didn't win? What if I think that, oh no, it's denial, blah blah blah, it's not gonna be a good government? No. A majority of the people already spoken. We have to accept. We need to be the bigger, the better, the mature individual to say, okay, I didn't win. Maybe it's not for me. And let's give a chance to whoever won the election. He may came from a family of dictator. His father probably ruled with an iron fist. Of course, we don't want that to happen again to the Philippines. But let's give him a chance. Maybe he has the answers. Maybe he can make Philippines better again. Maybe he can make us be proud of the Philippines once again. Until we give him that chance, until we give that new president and his cabinets a chance, we will never know. And if we don't give them a chance, we might regret it. So let's all be one as a Filipino people. Let's all be one and have one prayer for the Philippines, that whoever will going to be the next president, may the Holy Spirit guide him to better serve the Filipino people. Let's stop the rallies. Let's stop the bickering. Let's stop pulling each other down. It's time for us to be pulling each other up. It's time for us to support each other and to help each other. We need to give that next president a chance. Otherwise, we will never know. We will never know, and we will never move forward. If our only solution, our always get go, is to go out in the street and oust the president, or go out on the street and rally and shout or whatever you do, we will never move forward. We will never have that chance to become a great nation again. Life is a gamble. Life is a gamble. We need to take the risk. And if that risk means having this president that came from a dictator family, let it be. Let it be. Let's take the risk and let's give them a chance. Bye everyone. I hope you like this video. Bye.